It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you for making time for us. We are back, and now our focus now is on the CAF Champions League, and we've just watched Orlando Pirates against Saint Eloi Lupopo of DRC at the Orlando Stadium in a second leg of the preliminary round of the 2025-2026 CAF Champions League, and Orlando Pirates eliminated after penalty shootouts, 5-4 on penalty shootouts. Pirates missing 2 penalties and FC or Saint Eloi Lupopo missing only 1 and converting 5. Orlando Pirates, unfortunately, is the end of the road for them. Remember, Orlando Pirates are one of last year's semi-finalists. They did so well last season. They could have easily gone to the finals, and this time around, it wasn't meant to be. But I guess the job was too big for Orlando Pirates, but they did well. We have to give them credit because it was they had their job cut out for them. It was a mammoth task that they had to execute out at the Orlando Stadium, and they were equal to the task. They did it. They were able to pay off the debt of 3 goals. Unfortunately, that also meant they have to go to penalties, which can be anyone's game. On your day, you could win penalties. On a bad day, you could lose penalties, no matter how much you've outplayed your opponents. And unfortunately, today, it was the latter for Orlando Pirates. They played most of the football, and they tried by all means to score the goals. And unfortunately for them, it didn't happen. I think one of the things that didn't go well for Orlando Pirates is that their goals started coming in too late, because if you're chasing 3 goals in any game, the best thing that could happen for you is to score as early as possible. And unfortunately for them, they scored just before halftime, the first goal, and the third goal I think came way too late, because I think had Orlando Pirates scored the third goal with at least 15 minutes to go, maybe around the 75th minute, Pirates leading the game by 3-0, I think they would, in the last 15 minutes, I think Pirates would have had the ability to kill the game off by scoring a 4th goal. But unfortunately, the 3rd goal came in the last minute of the game. Beautiful goal. I think, credit must be given to Orlando Pirates. They really gave it their best. They were so unfortunate in this case, because they played a team that also played their cards very well. They knew what they wanted to do. They came to defend, and they did exactly that. Yes, once in a while, they had a chance to try and score what would have been a devastating goal. If this Lupopo side had scored a goal, that would have meant they are leading the tie by 4 goals to, let's say, 4-3 of Orlando Pirates, and that would have not been enough, because Pirates would have to score 5 or 2 more goals on top of the 3 because of the away goal rule. Because if they tie the game at 4-4, Lupopo would still win by the away goal rule. So Pirates where they did everything right. They kept the clean sheet, which was mandatory for them to do. Otherwise, they would have had to score an avalanche of goals, which would looked impossible. Even these 3 goals from a distance looked very impossible. But here they are. They were able to score those 3 goals. It's unfortunate that the penalties can be anyone's game on any day. I think the other thing, the damage was done in Congo. Like I said, the damage was too much in Congo. In as much as they tried to rescue the game, we don't know what happened in Congo. It's a very strange thing. It happens very often with the Congolese teams, even with the national team of Congo. From way back, if you just to give you a brief, to remind you, I know many of you are familiar with this. You remember when Congo was still called Zaire in the 90s? I remember watching a game of football between Bafana and Zaire, today's Democratic Republic of Congo. It was a bloody game, literally bloody. I remember Mark Fish leaving the field with his head strapped in bandages, red with blood, soaked in blood. And the ball boys, I think there were no ball boys, they were just soldiers carrying guns around the touchline, around the field. And it's been their nature to intimidate their opponents. They did the same thing, I think, against Orlando Pirates. Not the national team, obviously. I think it was TP Mazembe playing against Orlando Pirates. Game was not televised. We did not get signal for the game feed for the televising of the game. We couldn't watch it in South Africa. We just heard that the dubious penalties for Mazembe. The late Senzo Meyiwa rescuing Pirates. You know, it happened over there in DRC. Now it's a different team. Two teams actually. Remember the same team, the Simba that played against Kaizer Chiefs did the same thing. Closed the door, not the doors. They just decided not to secure the broadcasting rights, so we couldn't watch the game. So anything dubious that could have happened there, we wouldn't know. So we don't really know how Pirates lost. We are hearing stories that this is what happened in the game, because we don't have a full footage of the game that took place there. So it's unfortunate for Orlando Pirates actually, because I think they really would have been a very good addition to this year's competition, given the fact that they look very, very, very sharp. Today is another case in point. When they had to come back from 3 goals down, they were able to do that. Penalties, unfortunately, can be anyone's game. But if you look at those Lupopo players, I think they were ready for penalties as well. The way they took their penalties, they took them inch perfect, most of them, except for that one that was skyrocketed and led to the sudden death, which Orlando Pirates unfortunately could not capitalize on. A missed penalty at the end, which also marked the end of the road for Orlando Pirates. Tough luck for Mapagania, but I think they did well. It was not meant to be on this day. I guess now they'll have time to focus on the domestic competitions that are still remaining. They are still in the Carling Cup. They are pretty much the favorites to do well in the Carling Cup. They are still obviously the league is just at the beginning. We still have got Nedbank Cup. So, and they are also MTN 8 champions. So it's not all lost. It's just in the continental competitions. The continental competition is a little bit more important than all these other competitions that are left now. But tough luck to Orlando Pirates, man. We remain to see. For those who are watching this video before the Kaizer Chiefs game, who are going to be playing against another DRC opponent in what they call Simba, Kaizer Chiefs task is a little bit smaller than the task that Pirates had to go through, but it's also big in the context of the fact that Kaizer Chiefs are unable to score goals right now, so they have to score. And if Simba scores against Chiefs, then they have to score at least 2. That's how difficult it could be for Kaizer Chiefs as well. I'm sorry to bring in Kaizer Chiefs in this, since we're still talking about CAF. But unfortunate for Orlando Pirates. They did well, but at the end of the day, luck was not on their side. And thank you for making time for us. This has been Fans Corner. We meet again in the next one.